Who's pulling for Lakers? Didn't get you. I feel terrible that we'll get this out of the way so we can get on with the show. I hate that the Kings have been favored in this match because it just works against you when they expect you to win. Excuse me. It just makes me emotional. So I'm glad they won the first game, but it's not over yet. Well, obviously it's not over yet. It just started. But... Do most of you have no idea what I'm talking about? I got a few hockey fans down here. Phoenix! They look good this year. What was I going to ask? I don't think I was going to ask anything. Did you guys want to ask anything? I just want to say I've never been to the Phoenix Comicon before, and so far I have one question. How do you stand the heat? Please! Oh, it's a dry heat. Yeah, try this. Phoenix is wonderful, I would say. But I'll bet you half of you aren't from Phoenix. Out-of-towners? Phoenix? All right, I'll alter that ratio later in my second speech, but is there some format you guys have been using?
If you would like to ask Mr. Anderson a question, we do have 2 microphones set up, one right here, one right here. We have these lovely line moderators in front of you. If you would like to go ahead and start lining up, we'll get underway.
Do they have to be that close? I mean, look how far back those people are.
Might be harder to hear them back there.
They're on a microphone. Anyone having trouble hearing me back there?
The real question is, do they have to be this cute?
You gonna take that from me? Hi.
My question is, do you remember the Stargate episode when you and Christopher were trapped in the time dilation?
What was it called? Do you remember?
Window of Opportunity. Did you make up all those really hilarious parts?
Did I what?
Did you and Teal'c make up all those really funny parts?
Well, I made mine up. And most of his. No, we had fun doing things like that, and the whole concept of the show, I mean, it was very well written. I have to say that the producers and writers and the script writers were really good at their job and what they did. But I grew up, when we first met, I sort of had to warn everybody that, first of all, I had to warn MGM that I couldn't take the job unless they would trust me and let me, because I was at a point in my career, and that's a boring story. You just want an answer to your question. So, yes, I made up.
On one of the, I can't remember which season it is, but they have a gag reel where Carter, it's the scene where you guys find the Stargate in Antarctica and you're trapped in the glacier, and she pulls the MacGyver prank on you. I'm trapped in a glacier with MacGyver.
Was that a gag reel? I thought it was an episode. I swear.
What was going through your head when she's first, the scene was, she was trying to do a serious scene, then all of a sudden it changed on you. What kind of went through your head when it went south?
Well, my first impulse was to yell, "Cut!" I was one of the producers, and time is money, but I'd much rather have fun than save money, so it was fine. Smatter, that's the definition of smattering. No, I thought it was very clever. I just, didn't expect it in a dress rehearsal like that. But I think the notion was, at first I thought, well, she's forgotten her lines. And she's off book now, and oh my God, she's talking about MacGyver. So I had to turn around to the camera and give a little smirk, like I was in the know. But they got me. It was the epitome of cute. You all know how much I love cute. Hello.
I just want to say that I really love you in.
Closer.
Closer.
I just want to say I really loved you in Stargate as Colonel O'Neill. And I had one question. What was the best prank that was played on the set of Stargate?
You know what? I don't know if anyone really formally pranked anybody. All my shenanigans were off, they were improvised or came in a split second of non-thought. But I don't know how many, are there a lot of children here? Can I tell a story about gas? Is there any mothers saying, no, don't you do it? He's going to talk about farting. Chris Judge and I had a penchant for being rather gaseous. So, it's not so much a prank, but he and I were doing this, and the stories are legendary, I won't even go into them, but you can imagine two guys that took pride in, he should write a book. Because he would purposely line up the elements at lunch of things that would combine to create the greatest explosion. I swear it's true. But I knew that because on any set that I ever had been on, I was always the champion because I had the kind of audacity, and my thought is, it's a natural physiological process of the body. Why hold it in and cause problems? So anyway, Chris and I had this, we got to know each other, and of course then it became a contest. Hands down, out of the gate, he won the fragrance part of the contest. But I would win the auditory and could play tunes off my kids. Anyway, I'll get done with this. It became obvious to me that here was a young whippersnapper, an up-and-comer, and he was going to be great competition for me throughout life. So I sort of had acquiesced to some degree. We had a scene where I'm in an elevator and he makes an entrance into the elevator. So that's the setup. And it was a scene after lunch, and I was lucky that day. Broccoli and something else. But I was able to, on the second take, we had to do 2 takes, I think in part because I couldn't make it work right on cue. So take 2, and it all comes out. My shirt was flying. I was getting light. But I don't know if you remember, anybody watched the show to notice how small those cubicles are, but every corner of it was filled with me. So it's action, doors open, Chris comes in, takes his place, doors shut, we're locked in there. And his reaction was, "Oh my God." And it was over. I won the day, but I handed him the crown soon afterwards. I'll teach you to ask those questions.
Hello, thank you for braving the heat to be with us. My question is, what was your favorite memory of working with Michael Shanks?
I just saw him in Germany about a week ago. He's Michael and I really got to like each other a lot. And in great part later on in the series, whereas our characters couldn't have been further apart in mentality and priority, etc. But he, you know, I don't have any like cute little quips or anything like that. I have to say that Michael and Amanda were the two actors that I loved working with all the time. This is no aspersion on Chris, he just didn't have anything to say. But Michael and Amanda both are wonderful actors, and they can talk fast. And it facilitated my character choice, mind you, it was a choice, to maybe not talk so fast and actually just respond with a simple, "What?" And it worked for all of us, but I don't know, just adore the guy. He's, you know, he can be a real dink around hockey season, but see how I cleaned it up, Mom? You know, I have a general great fond memory of Mike. You should see him right now. I don't know how many follow his career to see what he looks like, but the guy's addicted to working out, as opposed to me, who obviously is enjoying his retirement. I swear, if I get invited back here next year, I will lose 30 pounds, I promise. I'll start with my shoes. Work from there.
I was wondering if you ever had to turn down any roles that you wished you hadn't because of all of your involvement with Stargate. I love you in Stargate, but...
But?
Do you regret turning anything down because of it?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I was having too much fun, and the only reason I left the show when I did, which was 2 years before the show went off the air, or stopped making them, was that I had a domestic situation, a real life situation, where my daughter was living in Los Angeles. Her mother had taken her out of Vancouver, where I was shooting, into Los Angeles, and it just got to the point where I couldn't stand being away from her, and I mean, God forbid that she should grow up without the likes of me around. But that was the case, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted her to have some fun. Yeah. So I've been single dadding it ever since, and I've never made a better choice in my life. Although, for Wiley's sake, I wish she had more stability in the situation, but she'll get over it. After a ton of therapy and no, she's good. I don't regret giving up anything. I don't regret leaving the show. But yeah, and now I'm just enjoying, you know, I do a bunch of work for the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society and part of the Brain in Los Angeles, River Keeper. But so that's how I'm kind of, and hanging out with my dogs, which is, yeah, dogs. I love my pups, but no jobs that I turned down during that time. I'd like to say they offered me the Indiana Jones franchise, but that was some other guy with a mustache. That's all I got.
Oh, we have another cute one.
What was it like being in Stargate?
What? It was fine. No, the whole experience was spectacular. There were times, of course, when things get a little rough and scripts are a little off, or, people are late. But it was a great experience. You can imagine, if you watch the show, you can see that there was a wonderful rapport amongst the three of us. And I'm kidding. It was the second best job I've had in my life, let's put it that way. Because I did one before that you weren't even a dream of when I was making. That was an improperly structured sentence. It was a great experience, but if you watched the relationship, you could see how much fun we were having, even when it was a serious subject. What else? Anything else you want to know besides what was it like? Sure. I'm 6'2". I used to weigh 195 pounds. There's some very pointed and distinct laughter from the back. Someone must be in the know. Anybody else? No? Okay.
Hello, and I'd like to thank you for your role in MacGyver, and
Get off and hold on.
okay.
This is him right now. See how it slides out? Do I have to do everything? Fire away.
What was your favorite MacGyver gadget that you got to create or device when you were on the show? Did you do your own? Did you make them, or
What was your favorite gadget?
yeah, you got to create. That's
Well, if I were going to be a real cornball, I'd say the Swiss Army knife. But I didn't make that. Oh, God, what a question to ask. So much time has gone by, and I'm so old. I'm losing my hearing, and my sight, and my faculties. Well, there's that, and duct tape, but I think you're talking about, what did I make? Oh, I know! Just came to me. I had forgotten what show you were talking about. There was an episode where I had to go figure. MacGyver had to go save somebody that was trapped. We really broke some wind. I had to go up in the mountains, and there were some terrorists that had trapped this guy, and I had to go up and break him out. Now, he was in a kind of jungle-esque place, so there was a lot of bamboo around. conveniently. And so I broke into this thing, and I found him, and then I broke into this shed that the bad guys had that had all the makings for a hang glider. No, not a hang glider, ultralight that weighed about 1.5 tons. In fact, you know the, what's the show on Discovery?
Mythbusters!
Yes. Mythbusters. Love that show. Love those guys. Met them and they're just, well, they're geniuses is what they are. But they did a busting of us on that show. They tried making the exact same ultralight that we had made on the show. They replicated everything they could. And I think they used the same gauge bamboo that we used for the structure, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which made it impossible to get it off the ground, let alone do anything off a cliff that was the runway, but do this. And that's what it did. But so consequently, watching that, we shot it, and of course we did some editorial things to it to make it seem as though it disappeared off the cliff and then all of a sudden comes up on the other, down the road a piece. But that was the movie magic. Ghostbuster guys, Ghostbuster. Yeah, the Ghostbuster guys. I meant to say. Mythbuster guys proved that it's impossible. But that was my favorite because it was a total failure. Off screen.
Go ahead right here.
Hi, I was just wondering if you and Kurt Russell ever met, and you're clearly the better Jack O'Neill, but I just wondered if
That's so nice. Remember his? He smoked and had a lighter that he gave to Alex. Scar. Thank you. Stay close. Yeah, I've met him several times. We used to live in the same general area, and he and Goldie would take their dogs and run up an area near where I lived at the time. And we'd cross paths, and I had Australian Shepherds, and they had a huge, say you take a tricolor Australian Shepherd, tricolor now, remember? Black, white, little brown, and you blow it up. Not a Saint Bernard. No. One at a time, come on. Bernie's mountain dog, thank you. Very well done. Our next question is worth 20 points. So anyway, that's, I said, hey, nice dog. And he stopped and I got to pet it. Then I pet the dog. And Goldie. I had a good time that day. But it was a dry heat. He's a nice guy. You didn't know how old he is? Kurt Russell? Is he? Young? Well, everyone's younger than me. Younger than I, actually, I should say. Where was I? There I was, 40,000 feet. No, he's a good guy. He is. He's good.
Another question.
Yes, ma'am.
I really did mean that you are younger than he is, by the way.
Well, you said the total opposite of that.
It's the heat.
Oh, I got you.
fix anything. And about a month or two ago, I was fixing one of my Xbox remotes that my dogs ate, right? An Xbox remote. My 16-year-old son sent me a text message, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm MacGyvering the Xbox remote." And he said, "Great, I don't know what that is." Clearly, I failed as a mother, but my question is,
I was going to say.
but you're younger than I am too. So, what words of advice, MacGyver words of advice, Seven Brides, Stargate advice do you have for our kids today?
MacGyver words? Well, you use the English language like everyone else. Come on. I'm not sure if that's more profound a question than I would make the answer sound. Roll back that tape and straighten that sentence out, right? All I can do is just kind of reiterate what the concept was all about, and it came down. I keep shortening it the more I refer to it, but there was nothing really unique about the character's approach to anything, to any problem solving. It was all a matter of common sense and observing, listening, watching, sensing in any way you can things around you that may allow you to add somehow either to the solution to a problem or the cultural upheaval of the Mayan society. And stuff. It's kind of like that. So to the kids today, I say, follow that advice. Oh, sometimes I just tickle myself. It's so disjointed in here.
Hi, I was wondering what your imaginings was of the Furlings, or what your favorite imagining or interpretation was of them, since we never really got to see them. Was it the Furlings? Is it the Furlings? I can't remember the name. The one race that you never got to see in Stargate. You guys made fun of it a little bit, made them look like Ewoks when you guys knocked them in the. I can't remember what episode.
200.
That doesn't help. Telling me the title of the episode doesn't help. I remember hearing the word furlings. Were they little fuzzballs?
They never showed. They were supposed to be the other super race along with the rest of them.
And they never saw them? That's a chip.
I figured it would have come up at some point, and somebody might have told you something. Yeah, or you might have imagined something when you read the script, but...
Ooh, reading the script, eh? Well, there's your answer. I got no idea. Sounds like a great idea. Get up off the floor, young lady.
Considering that my favorite episode of Stargate was already taken, what was your favorite episode of MacGyver? Because I grew up with both.
The favorite episode of MacGyver? My back is hurting me, that's why I'm doing it. So it's a different look for the cameraman. I wasn't aware of it or anything. Well, you know what? I've lost track of so much, not the least of which is virtually every single episode. But, and I don't mean that to cast an aspersion on anything. Mind you, it was the greatest time of my life. on camera, that is. But I remember doing the fact that I was shooting a pilot for something, and I had, just before auditioning for the show, I was on the verge of just like taking off, and I was riding a motorcycle around, and nothing was really happening. It wasn't coming my way, and I wasn't impressing anyone. So it was with that mindset and that kind of karmic reasoning floating around that when I got a call from my agent and he said, "Get over to Paramount, dude, you've got a reading in about an hour." Now, where I was north of Malibu, up the coast a little bit. I'm on at that time, I'm sorry to say, my Harley Davidson. That particular model was a terrible model and year. But anyway, it got me quite quickly to where I was going. So I had longest hair, and I walked in to the audition. Have you heard this before? Did I? Okay, I'll try. I have to hit this rest stop over here. So I get into, and I'm wearing, literally, no joke, wearing the brown bomber jacket that became iconic, apparently. And my hair, we didn't have to wear helmets back then. My hair was just, I looked like a dandelion. I did this, so I had this pathway. It wasn't a happy look. But I walked in and was asked to do the reading, and it took at night. I didn't have my glasses with me. Or I had them with me, I wasn't wearing them. So I asked, because I hadn't seen the script before, I asked if I could wear my glasses to do the audition. And as the story goes, Henry Winkler tells the story of how they all looked at each other in the office. There were about 10 producers, writers, and the like, all sitting in there. And apparently they all looked at each other, and kind of quietly, because I couldn't see them, but they were looking at each other, and kind of their eyebrows are going up and their heads were slightly nodding before I'd even read. Because what I found out later was that they had been looking for the type of character that I basically presented to them when I walked through the door. I don't know, in retrospect, if that was good or bad, but the point was that anyone who would be as selfless and non-ego strewn and non-machismo to ask if you could wear a pair of like lame-ass reading glasses during an audition was the kind of guy that they wanted to play their character. And that was, not only that, I just read the hell out of it too. They were very forgiving, but thank God. So, what was the question?
Favorite episode of MacGyver? Right?
Is that what it was?
My memory is about as good as yours.
Poor thing. Well, that was kind of an episode. Let's just take that as my answer, okay? A lot of people Superhero. Oh, like Superman or one of those guys? Thank you. Wasn't quite sure what a, oh, there you go. I'm here to read. It wasn't mine. It's too hot, I can't wear the hat anymore. There are a lot of green ones, right? Like Hornet and Lantern and Arrow. That's 3 of them, right? Huh? No, I didn't like Hulk. Well, just because it reminds me of Hulk Hogan, and I kind of go backwards on the affection. What? What? What are you, personal friends with Hulk Hogan? No, he's a sweetheart. Now I want to say Hulk Hogan was my superhero. Just to save your feelings. I'm sensitive. When I was reading comic books, the Flash was one. I couldn't wait for a new comic book to come out with him, and they kind of faded him away a little too soon for my... Now he has a TV show?
Yeah.
Bastard, he owes me money. I'm gonna make a call. I did not know that. Yeah, me play a villain? I'd love to. I'm so not likable.
Do we have another question on this side?
You again. Supergirl.
So how long does it take you to memorize your script and shoot a full episode of Stargate?
Well, they are connected. Actually, I'm pretty good at memorizing. It's just that I choose not to. Well, again, I think I'm repeating myself, but I grew up in improv theater back in Minnesota, and that was so much fun. And Minnesota? Improvisation? I've gotten lost again. Oh, how long does it take? Stay close, lady. It took 7 days of principal photography shooting, but the reality is that we would spend at least 8 days. We had a brilliant producer in John Smith who would knew how to just take things from here and put them there in the budget. So we ended up with almost 8 days of main camera shooting. But then there's the thing called second unit, and then we had a splinter unit, which was, you know, once again removed from importance, we found later on. So you were always kind of relegated to the dregs of importance when you were doing the split. Anyway, Jesus. You know, if I was ever like taken by the Taliban, they would ask me questions. They would finally say, get rid of him. I can't take this chatter anymore. So 8 days of that, and then a day at least of second unit, where parts of the script that we didn't get, we'd shoot. So what is that? 8, 9. And then there'd be editing, which to me took forever, but which is rightful, because editing is so important, especially in an effects-driven show. Not that ours was driven by effects, but it certainly had a fair share. So all total, a few days, give or take. No, I'd say close to a month of fine-tuning and all that other business, laying music in and voiceovers. It adds up, and it does take quite a long time. So it's not just oh, well, let's watch Stargate tonight. That looked easy to make. Did that even come close to answering? I've always wanted to be an example for our children. And after that answer, she does this. I'm sorry. Your parents will explain what the problem is.
Hi. I just want to say thank you for being here. I know we all appreciate it very much. I've only known you from the MacGyver franchise prior from my parents, but then last year my boyfriend introduced me to Stargate. And every night since, we've had dinner with you and Stargate, and it's been really great, so I just want to say thank you for that. It's kind of goofy.
So sad.
We are at Comicon, so, that's how we breed. We watch shows and then...
Nice.
But,
You say breed?
Comicon babies. That's all they're named.
Nice.
All we do. So the question I had for you was, I noticed on Stargate that everyone had their own special power. Sam had science, Tilk had his whole alien thing, and, every other character had their own special powers, but you, unfortunately, got the short end of the stick. And don't really have any special powers. But I was curious, in real life, if you had a special power, what would it be and why?
What do you mean, what would it be?
Like a superpower. What's your superpower?
I can hold my breath for 20 seconds. I used to be able to. I don't know. Like what?
How about invisibility?
Oh, I'd love that. Who wouldn't? Come on.
How about flying?
Yeah? I'd love to do that.
Super strength?
Like I need any more.
Yeah.
That's good. Don't get greedy.
Thank you again.
You bet. Thank you.
Getting back to your days as a teen heartthrob on General Hospital. And your crazy ex-wife who tried to kill half of Park Charles. Did that subsequently lead you to take characters that didn't have permanent romantic attachments?
Well, first of all, they're television shows. Just so we get that clear. But no is the answer to your question. No, I didn't take jobs or turn down jobs contingent on what the character's love life was like. Sometimes, know, unless the co-star was, no, I don't know. No, that had no effect on anything, honestly. But yeah, it is rather curious that, well, you know what? I think the inference from Pete Thornton was that MacGyver was a dude, you know, like he would, all this eyebrow raising that he could do so well. And I'm not sure what the impression was about MacGyver's love life on Stargate, except that everybody wanted Jack and Sam to get together. Thank you. Not the least of which people left was me. You know, some people have a way with words, and some people not have way. That's pretty much what happened just there. But only in parallel universe Fantasyland did, what was it, Jack and Sam. See what you've done to me. Got to make out, and that was in my wildest dreams. It was hot. So hot. A married woman. Acting! You look perplexed.
I'm just trying to figure out how to say, go Maple Leafs.
Oh, they've gone. I can only hope on that one. But thank you for, you know, breaking the mood. Hi.
Hi. On one of the bonus features, Christopher Judge talks about how he found a costume originally of his that had a rip and he got a scar from it. And last Comicon I asked Samantha, you know her name, Sam Gardner character, what explosions might have happened that she almost got hurt on, and she told me a cool one about her face. Almost getting burnt. What about you and Daniel? Did you guys have any special effects, you know, oopses that almost happened, or any cool things like that?
Oh, goodness, lady. Let me get up for this one. I just have to sit down here and lean a little bit to take the pressure off my back that's had surgery on it because of a stunt I had to do. Special effect thing. Lady, could you come up? There. Nobody saw that. Won't last long. All right. Where were we? What's everybody yelling? Where did I miss it? What? What was the question?
It was about all the special effects and any
Oh, yeah.
big booms or mishaps that might have happened
Yes.
with you and Daniel.
In answer to your question, yes. I had to have, as a result of doing some stunts, and which for the most part involved some kind of special effect stunty thing. Forget what they're called. I've had back surgery. I broke 2 fingers on this hand. I sliced open. Obviously something got sliced. Do it yourself. I've sliced open my one of my fingers playing with a Swiss Army knife. There I go again. Just kind of chopping at a back seat of a Cadillac. There was an episode where I had to do that, so between takes I was doing this. And it's not a fixed blade. It folded over on my finger. And for some reason, we kept them really sharp. I don't know why. But, so I have that sewn back on. I've had, oh God, so much. One in particular, I got shot in my ankles, plural. How do you do that? With a pellet gun, basically. It was a gun that shot pellets of some kind that would spark. They're spark kits, is what they're called, but they're made out of like a graphite something combo. If any effects guys in here can clarify that. But I was supposed to run, getting shot at, and then jump in the back seat of this car. Maybe it was the front seat. I don't know. But I did everything I was supposed to do, but the effects guy is literally shooting a rifle that's loaded with these pellets. And they're not jelly beans, you know, not gooey. They're hard as, like what they are, rocks, basically. So he's sparking right behind me as I'm running across this tarmac. And I jump into the window, and I clear everything about the window. It's not an easy thing to do, by the way. Try it sometime, all of you, especially kids. So I get in, and my feet, and it's my own fault, because I told this effects guy, when in doubt, to make it look good, make it close. So he made it so close that he perforated one of my ankles and caused the other one to break into like a smattering of blood stain, but you know, if you throw a bunch of rocks on something, somebody, all you kids, that little spackles of blood will show up. Well, that's kind of what happened to me. It's really not such a good story. I'm sorry.
Is there any chance that you're going to do another Stargate movie? Because we'd love to see it.
I don't know what the plans are. Seriously, honestly, I wouldn't mind doing something, because at this point in time they would have more money to, or Brad Wright would demand more money to do the show. We had standing sets. We were ready to do a series of movies, Stargate movies, but MGM was just, you know, not interested. The bottom line is they wanted to make money, and we wanted to spend money. It's the age-old conflict, but I don't know that there are any plans to do one. I've been approached by some foolish people to do a MacGyver thing. And I've said that I would only consider doing kind of a one-off about MacGyver if they would buy into the fact that he's old and gray, he's out of shape, and he's losing his balance a lot more these days. That, to me, of course, the only people that would really get it would be the original audience of MacGyver. Otherwise, they're just looking at some old fart trying to... But the joke would be, you know, isn't that cute? Anyway, so I would consider doing that if they would meet my demands.
So we are at the 5-minute mark. We have time for one more question.
Maybe. We'll see.
For one, I feel like I'm in the presence of God.
Stop it!
But is it okay to call you Rick?
Yes, you're supposed to.
Rick, so many fans since the get-go have wanted to see, Colonel O'Neill and Major Samantha Carter get together for a long last time, and we never got it. Like, did you ever get pressure from a lot of fans about that subject in the show?
Yeah.
I mean, like every single second of the day.
We found over a course of time that we have the horniest audience. They just wanted us to get it on. And the only reason we didn't is because we were being respectful to the Air Force and their rules of engagement. So we didn't go, you know, there's things like tailgate happening and all this, the abuse that was taking place back then, and now, but, so no, I understand the desire, truly I do. But, yeah, it just wasn't in the scripts.
You know, in your defense, you know, that new Flash series on the CW is probably not the last one. That new Flash series they were talking about is on the CW.
Is the camera on that? That's terrible. Thank you.
Good day.
You too. Still got 3 minutes and 26 seconds. You thought you were going to get out of here early, didn't you?
Alright, I'll make it quick and snappy. In MacGyver, did you improve on your MacGyverisms, or were they planned by people who, I don't know, scientists?
It was a team effort, actually. The writers would do their research, and we had a consultant who worked for the labs at Caltech, I believe. And he was a real smart guy. So we would the writers would come up with ideas and things to do and fantastical solutions. And then we'd run it by this guy and say, sometimes, is this possible? Could we do this? And then, or say, what would it take to make this work the way we wanted to, or got any ideas for us? It kind of went that route. So it was, and that brings up the point of credibility. We always like to back up the incredible things that or uncredible things that we would do. And make sure that we, first of all, left out any possibility of kids blowing things up by leaving out an ingredient or two. So that although some German kids back then found a way, and they blamed MacGyver. So, but no, it was a collaborative effort, the whole thing. If I got on set and what had been on paper just wasn't working, it wasn't, just wasn't, there was no way to do it physically or spiritually. So I would raise umbrage. I'm taking English lessons. Wait, we all work together. 59, 58. Quick! Yes, young man.
My question is, do you remember that episode when Colonel Neo kissed Sam Carter?
What? Really?
I saw that episode.
Go on. What'd you think? Was it okay?
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
So did Amanda.
I didn't knew that was hers.
Yeah. But yes, I do remember it quite well. You know, you'll learn this in the future, but when you get your biggest laugh of the night, you quit. Say thank you and good night.